Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. Please stay right there because what I'm sharing with you today is not just another prediction or baseless rumor, but a verified development that signifies a major turning point. After extended periods of speculation, years of patient waiting, and countless moments of uncertain talk, a definitive new step has finally been taken. 8 major US banks have now activated live, real-time IQD rate screens internally. Yes, the suspense appears to be concluding, and this critical update might fundamentally alter how Dinar holders worldwide perceive their long-term investment. Please remain focused because over the next few concise minutes, we will thoroughly analyze the precise meaning of this action, the subsequent steps to anticipate, and how you can prepare safely for potential public exchanges. This specific video is one that you will certainly want to watch completely through to the end. For over a decade, dedicated individuals have been tracking every subtle indication related to the Iraqi dinar's future, from minor banking rumors to official government pronouncements. Every new piece of information simultaneously generated both excitement and confusion. However, this time, the available evidence points to something substantially more concrete. The undeniable fact is that the internal systems within major US banks are now actively displaying IQD rates that were previously either hidden or inaccessible. In the most straightforward terms, bank employees can now see the dynamic rates displayed live on their internal networks. That singular system update could signify the commencement of the crucial process the global financial community has been eagerly awaiting. But before anyone jumps to immediate conclusions, it is vital to fully comprehend what these live screens signify and why this precise moment holds such immense importance. When we confirm that the screens are now live, it does not instantly mean that the public can walk into any bank branch and immediately cash out their holdings. Instead, it definitively means that the core technical infrastructure within the entire banking system is now fully synchronized and prepared. Bank personnel can now observe the IQD listed alongside a current, real-time exchange rate on their specialized foreign currency terminals. For years, those internal screens either remained blank, displayed a fixed placeholder rate, or were completely restricted. That ambiguous situation has now demonstrably concluded. Consider this as the powerful engine finally engaging after an extensive period of maintenance. It is idling smoothly, fully warmed up, and completely ready to transition to the next phase of operation. This critical activation stage is an absolutely essential precursor before any secure public transactions can safely commence. This significant development also confirms that major banks are no longer ignoring the Iraqi dinar's existence. They are officially integrating its data into their secure internal systems, actively testing various transaction workflows, and rigorously verifying the security protocols for all potential transactions. Taking this specific step is not something a large bank does on a whim. Activating a new currency display requires comprehensive coordination across numerous departments, official security sign-off, and rigorous system testing. Therefore, the simple fact that 8 of the largest US institutions have executed this step demonstrates a level of serious, coordinated preparation. This is clearly not a small-scale trial or a limited, temporary test. It represents a structured, system-wide rollout specifically designed for long-term operational readiness. Why is this specific moment the chosen time for this to occur? Many leading analysts theorize that Iraq's persistent economic reforms, consistently stronger oil exports, and proactive efforts to stabilize the dinar have profoundly increased international financial confidence. Over the past few years, Iraq has diligently improved its transparency standards with both the World Bank and the IMF, actively developed advanced digital payment systems, and significantly tightened its anti-money laundering regulations. These specific updates are not flashy or headline-grabbing, but they are instrumental in building financial credibility. Once this fundamental credibility significantly improves, major global banks begin to pay serious attention. Therefore, the official activation of IQD rates in US banks is likely the result of years of complex, behind-the-scenes preparatory work finally culminating in a visibly active outcome. We must also recall the typical process for a currency rollout. Banks do not instantly open their doors for public exchanges immediately following an internal activation. First, they execute comprehensive internal simulations and tests. Next, they conduct thorough staff training, test the complete transaction flows, and verify customer identification procedures. Only after every single one of these preparatory steps is fully and satisfactorily completed do they then advance toward public availability. Therefore, what we are currently observing are the live rates visible on the internal screens represents the very last internal procedure before anything moves to the public domain. It is the clearest signal yet that the widely anticipated revaluation process is actively advancing behind a securely closed door. Now, what are the direct implications for individuals holding the Iraqi dinar? First, and of paramount importance, this serves as definitive confirmation that the currency is now officially acknowledged within mainstream, regulated banking systems. This marks a major, important psychological shift for holders. For many years, countless holders felt that their investment existed entirely outside the recognized real financial world. But now, 8 U.S. banks have essentially validated that the IQD is fully active and integrated within their core system architecture. This is far more profound than just simple visibility. It is outright validation. It strongly indicates that dinar transactions are no longer being casually dismissed or simply categorized as impossible. Second, this means that the precise timing will very soon become critically important. Once public exchanges begin, banks will process transactions in a highly structured, sequential manner. Strict anti-fraud measures, detailed verification protocols, and rate confirmations will be implemented. Those holders who are fully prepared with current identification, meticulously organized, clean notes, and a clear execution plan will be able to transact smoothly once the public window officially opens. Conversely, those who attempt to rush the process without proper preparation may encounter frustrating delays or systemic confusion. This is precisely why now, before any public announcement, is the most opportune time to calmly organize and prepare quietly. Let us clearly detail what actions holders must take next. Step 1. Ensure your physical dinar is secure and maintained in pristine condition. Notes that are damaged, unclear, or heavily worn could cause significant delays during the necessary verification process. Step 2. Prepare all required identification documents, your passports, official driver's licenses, and any necessary official documents that confirm your current address and legal name. Step 3. Absolutely refuse to act based on internet rumors. Numerous unofficial groups or online forums will certainly claim to offer private exchange deals or early access. Avoid all of them completely. Legitimate banks do not operate via private codes or secret lists. Only official public announcements from officially recognized banks will be relevant when the true time arrives. There is also a crucial emotional dimension to consider in this process. The dedicated dinar community has endured such a prolonged wait that hope has, at times, regrettably transformed into deep frustration. Every small rumor has felt like a potential spark, only to quickly fade away. But this time, the available information points to actual, confirmed institutional activity. The focus should no longer be on simple excitement. It must be about methodical, focused preparation. A calm, measured, and focused mindset will undoubtedly serve you far better than continually chasing every piece of online gossip. The major banks are proceeding strictly according to their established procedures, and your best counter-move is to remain patient, informed, and completely ready. So, why is this specific update being labeled a game changer? Because this marks the first time that major US banks are technologically positioned to manage real, legitimate IQD to USD conversions. This means that liquidity can flow securely and legitimately through regulated systems. It also powerfully suggests that Iraq's national currency is being officially reconnected with the massive global financial network. Once the initial 8 banks begin handling the dinar as a standard part of their foreign exchange operations, other institutions worldwide are highly likely to quickly follow suit. What begins with just 8 US banks could rapidly expand to the Middle East, Europe, and Asia, thereby creating widespread global acceptance for IQD transactions. On a much larger scale, this particular development represents a substantially growing confidence in Iraq's overall economic future. The country has overcome decades of instability, sanctions, and intense conflict, but it is fundamentally rich in both potential and resources. A more stable dinar would be critical in helping Iraq successfully attract foreign investment, effectively support ongoing reconstruction efforts, and significantly improve the living standards of its citizens. When major international banks officially recognize that immense potential, it is an unmistakable sign that global markets are willing to confidently re-engage, and that fundamental re-engagement ultimately benefits both Iraq and those who have held on to the dinar with sustained faith and patience. Now, let us definitively address the most frequently asked question of the moment. Does this activation mean I can cash out my holdings today? The simple, direct answer remains no. Not yet. Activation strictly signifies readiness, not immediate public availability. Consider it as the final green light illuminated just before the race gates swing open. The internal systems are perfectly aligned, the rates are visibly displayed, and the bank departments are aware of the procedure. However, before the general public can participate, final security checks, comprehensive compliance reviews, and formal communication plans must be fully completed. The very positive news is that once activation is confirmed, those remaining steps typically follow very quickly. Another common question: will every single branch be simultaneously ready at the same moment? Most likely not. Initially, only a select number of large, major branches will be authorized to handle IQD exchanges. These designated branches will have specialized, trained staff fully familiar with the process, correctly equipped to verify notes, and prepared to guide customers through the necessary forms. Smaller, local branches may only come online much later, once the complex process is proven to be running smoothly. Therefore, when the time for exchange arrives, you should make sure to contact your bank's main foreign exchange department, rather than just walking into your nearest small, local branch unannounced. Some individuals are also expressing concern about potential hidden charges or excessive fees. The widely held expectation is that only standard currency exchange fees will be applied and nothing that should be extraordinary or opaque. Major banks actively compete for business, and absolute transparency is essential. If any branch were to attempt to charge unclear or unusual fees, you would be entirely within your rights to request a detailed fee breakdown and compare their rates. Remember, all legitimate exchanges will consistently provide printed, formal receipts clearly detailing the exchange rate, the conversion amount, and any applicable deductions. Transparency is your most important protection. Let's examine why these banks are exercising extra caution before fully opening the process to the public. Managing a currency revaluation involves massive transaction volumes, potentially high individual transaction values, and complex global coordination. Even a minor technical error could instantly cause huge financial confusion and loss. That is why the primary focus of the banks is on rigorous legal compliance, fraud prevention, and absolute accuracy before they launch any public exchanges. They are also meticulously ensuring that all their internal communication systems, from tellers up to regional managers, are perfectly synchronized. In essence, they are carefully preparing for long-term stability. This current activation stage also serves as a crucial signal to financial regulators globally. It informs them that the banking infrastructure is completely ready for continuous monitoring, accurate reporting, and full compliance with all international standards. In a world where efforts against money laundering and transparency are paramount, banks cannot simply flip a switch and proceed. Every single currency transaction must be traceable, verifiable, and legitimate. This is yet another fundamental reason why this particular update is so incredibly significant. It powerfully demonstrates that the entire process is unfolding professionally, securely, and legally the right way. If you are watching this video and still feel uncertain about the best next steps, here is the most straightforward, basic advice. Stay informed exclusively through official banking announcements. Do not allow impatience to drive you into any risky financial choices. The best, most rewarding opportunities consistently go to individuals who are patient but also fully prepared. Keep your focus on your bank's official public updates, subscribe to reliable financial news sources, and completely disregard anyone promising specific early access. Real, verifiable systems operate through real, regulated institutions, not through anonymous chat messages or private groups. Now, let's discuss the most probable timeline, based on historical banking operations following internal screen activation. Public exchanges could realistically begin once every regulatory check and internal test is successfully completed. This could translate to a few weeks or even just a few days, but highly unlikely months or years. Once the various banks are fully satisfied that every technical issue has been resolved, they will then begin allowing clients to exchange their IQD at designated, verified branches. When this major event occurs, expect a clear, official statement, most likely issued through major financial news outlets or the bank's public websites. That will be your definitive signal to act. For the immediate future, the smartest and most productive thing any Dinar holder can do is to become meticulously organized. Begin by sorting all your notes by denomination, place them securely in protective sleeves, and ensure you have recent, verifiable copies of all your identification documents. Construct a simple, clear checklist so that when the final announcement comes, you can confidently walk into the bank prepared, organized, and confident. Preparation today will effectively save you significant time, stress, and potential errors later. Remember, this is a formal financial process, not a lottery. Treat it with the same level of professionalism and care as you would any other major investment. As this important story continues to unfold, one thing is certain: the world is watching closely. The official activation of IQD rates at 8 major U.S. banks officially marks a crucial milestone in the currency's entire history. It successfully bridges the gap that existed between pure speculation and actual implementation, between mere hope and tangible reality. Whether you have been a long-term, patient investor or are someone just beginning to learn about the dinar, this specific moment powerfully represents the effectiveness of both persistence and unwavering patience. The CAL financial system is finally catching up to the belief that many have held strongly for years. In conclusion, here is a final summary of our confirmed knowledge. The dinar rate screens are officially live across 8 large U.S. banking institutions. This confirms that internal systems are fully connected to real-time IQD rates. Public exchanges have not yet started, but the banks are clearly operating within the very final stages of readiness. Holders must immediately organize their notes, maintain documentation readiness, and wait exclusively for official communication. Avoid all private groups or unofficial offers. When the banks announce public access, the entire exchange process will be transparent, secure, and highly structured. And finally, a crucial word of encouragement: the long period of waiting is definitely concluding, but this remains a time for smart, measured decisions, not rushed, emotional moves. The most successful outcomes will consistently favor those individuals who remain calm, think with perfect clarity, and adhere strictly to all official procedures. Every major financial change begins quietly, only to become widely visible later. The IQD journey is now definitively entering the public, visible phase. Therefore, take a moment, focus your mind, and be completely ready for the next definitive step. If this vital update has helped you gain a better understanding of the crucial activity happening behind the scenes, please hit the like button, subscribe to Iraqi Dinar News, and ensure your notifications are active so you never miss a single verified update. We will continue to actively monitor all bank activity, track every development, and provide you with accurate, easy to understand information every step of the way. Major events are currently unfolding, and they are happening right now.